Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you today to this historic first digital agribusiness investment conference, which focuses on real agribusiness opportunities in one of the continent's fastest growing economies. Before introducing a stellar lineup, I would just focus quickly on some housekeeping. This is a digital event, but we want as many of you as possible to engage in a dialogue directly with business, government, and the British Embassy have kindly offered to assist you in doing that. Their contact details will appear throughout this event, and we look forward to helping you to connect. If you need assistance, both the head of DIT in Abidjan and DMA are here to assist. Here are the details, which are also on your delegate information leaflet sent prior to this event. As all DMA events, the entirety of this will be available on the free-to-access video channel, details of which will be sent to you in the coming days when it's published. First, however, if I may introduce myself, I'm KD Doumbia, and I'm the president of the Côte d'Ivoire Chamber of Commerce in Great Britain. I'm today your host. The CICCGB aims to promote trade between British and Ivorian organizations. Our objective is to be the main platform for investment between the two countries. If you need any information about the Chamber of Commerce in London, please contact us at info@ciccgb.uk. Let me first give some thanks, particularly to the Embassy and the DIT in Abidjan, to our Ivorian government and their impressive speakers today, to Ambassador Broker and her team, and to DMA for helping to convene today. Now, without further ado, I'm pleased to introduce the head of DIT, Carol Atombre, to open today's event.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending the UK-Cote d'Ivoire Virtual Investment Conference. This conference aims at highlighting opportunities in the agro-processing sector in Cote d'Ivoire and at connecting investors and businesses from both the UK and Cote d'Ivoire in these areas. My name is Carole Atombre. I'm the Department for International Trade Country Director for Cote d'Ivoire. I'm based at the UK Embassy, where I work with Stéphane Aonzo, whom you have probably been in touch with and who has been instrumental in putting together this event. Thanks, Stéphane. Today you will hear about the UK capabilities and financing offer in the agro-processing sector, and you will also hear about concrete opportunities in this sector for Cote d'Ivoire. I hope you will enjoy the session, and please feel free to reach out to us in case you need more information on these opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. That was excellent. And we're grateful that you gave us such an important and precise opening. Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Ambassador Catherine Broker. Ambassador, it's a great pleasure to have you with us and agreeing to give this address, having already overseen so much in your time with us, including the first all-party parliamentary group on Côte d'Ivoire and seeing such an historic trade agreement between our two countries. And on a personal note, I'm delighted to see two passionate female leaders at our embassy in such important positions. Ambassador, over to you.
Good morning. Welcome to the UK-Cote d'Ivoire Virtual Investment Conference. I'm grateful for this opportunity to speak to you all. On January the 20th, as some of you will know, the UK government hosted virtually the second Africa Investment Conference. It was an opportunity to reaffirm the ambition to make the UK the trading and investment partner of choice in Africa. For me, this means building a stronger, long-term relationship with Côte d'Ivoire based on trade, investment, shared values, and mutual interest. As we all know, Côte d'Ivoire is an established major exporter of a wide range of raw agricultural products. The agriculture sector of Côte d'Ivoire is a crucial driver of its economy and a major player in international markets for agricultural commodities. Through the 2021 to 2025 National Development Plan, the Ivorian government aims to remove residual obstacles to accelerate the economic and social transformation of the country. The UK wants to continue supporting Côte d'Ivoire in its ambition to transform its economy. We want to facilitate the development of a greener, cleaner, and more sustainable model, creating long-lasting jobs in the process. This objective could be achieved through the structural transformation of its economy, particularly in growth sectors that can create quality jobs at scale. Among them are agribusiness and its related sectors, the topic of today's event. Le Royaume-Uni dispose également de technologies agricoles de classe mondiale qui aident les agriculteurs du Royaume-Uni et du monde à accroître la productivité agricole de manière plus durable, ce qui a un impact environnemental moindre. Si nous renforçons le lien entre production et transformation, nous pouvons créer plus de valeur ajoutée ainsi que des emplois décents et durables. Le Royaume-Uni abrite l'un des écosystèmes technologiques les plus innovants et les plus dynamiques, entraînant la création de nouveaux services financiers, de soins de santé, d'agriculture, d'éducation ou même de solutions de ville intelligentes. De plus, Londres est l'un des centres financiers les plus connectés au monde, avec des liens inégalés entre les marchés émergents. Le Royaume-Uni a les capacités financières et techniques pour soutenir des propositions bancables par le biais de différentes entités telles que AgDevCo, CDC Group, UKEF et PIDG. Cela fait du Royaume-Uni un partenaire naturel pour la Côte d'Ivoire. Le Royaume-Uni est également un chef de file dans les technologies agricoles et agrotechnologiques innovantes. Nous jouissons de cette position grâce à notre expertise de pointe et à nos avancées dans la sélection végétale et animale, la télédétection, la prévision météorologique et l'exploitation des données. Le Royaume-Uni croit fermement à la croissance future de la Côte d'Ivoire. Nous aimerions jouer un rôle pour aider à concrétiser cette vision et renforcer le partenariat du Royaume-Uni avec la Côte d'Ivoire. Cela est particulièrement vrai dans le cas de l'agro-industrie. I therefore encourage any UK tech companies to give serious consideration to the opportunities presented today in Côte d'Ivoire. J'invite également toutes les entreprises technologiques des marchés émergents intéressées par un partenariat avec le Royaume-Uni à nous contacter et à explorer les opportunités au Royaume-Uni. Please do get in touch with the Embassy Trade Team. Carol Atungre and Stefano Honzo are here to support you. J'attends donc avec impatience les présentations d'aujourd'hui et de voir comment nous pouvons rapprocher les entreprises ivoiriennes et britanniques. Let's seize the opportunities presented to us here today. Let's build the partnerships for the future.
Ambassador, thank you. That was excellent. It will be one of my great pleasures to work with you over the next months and years. Thank you. Now to our HMG expert and agriculture lead. David, delighted to hand over to you.
Good morning. My name is David Burton. I'm the Agricultural Sector Director for Africa for the UK Department of International Trade. I'm based in Pretoria in South Africa. I'm delighted to be here this morning to give you a brief overview of the services offered by the agriculture and agri-tech sectors of the UK Department for International Trade, and to give you a bit of a view of our thoughts of the essentials of the priorities in the next few years in this very, very important sector. I always start off a talk about agriculture by saying to people, have you eaten today? If you have, thank a farmer and think about how important this sector is. To the kind person who's changing the slides, you should be on the first one now, saying this the title. If you could please move on to the second one, which is the slide that says role of UK DIT agri-tech sector. So our role is to promote UK goods and services into the continent of Africa. There are 22 countries where we have a physical presence, including Cote d'Ivoire. And our vision is to help agriculture in Africa whilst promoting UK goods and investment. And the word investment is very important. I'm going to come back several times in this presentation to talk about the UK investment offer, but also our offer in terms of export goods, the services and products we believe that we can import to you. If you can move please on to the next slide. I talk about the looming food security issue, and I think this is a big and important issue. This is something across the whole continent that I think underpins a lot of development policy, a lot of what we're going to be doing in the next few years. Africa is already a net importer of food. There are only one or two countries within the continent that are actually producing a surplus, and the population is set to double by the year 2050. The other important factor is that of climate change. Climate change is becoming a big problem, and it's very ironic and very, very unfair that Africa is the least contributor to the climate change, but it's the area where it is having the biggest effect. There will be some positive changes to climate change, but the majority are going to be negative, and the majority are going to take land out of production or significantly reduce the land's ability to produce. The biggest effect of this is going to be use of water availability, and that is going to become a bigger and growing issue in the future. The last issue affecting production is dietary change, and this is more important than some people give it credit for. And as the continent becomes richer, there's a desire, a quite understandable and correct desire to move towards a sort of, for want of a better term, a Western diet, and that mainly means more red meat. And there's nothing wrong in that, actually, obviously, but we know that red meat is a big user of land, big user of resources, and it is in many respects quite inefficient, and that's again pushing the food security issue. Next slide, please. So the policy imperatives around this are very important. Fortunately, this food security problem is solvable. It can be solved in large regard by increasing production, and that is possible. It's very possible. First of all, there's a lot of land that is not being farmed, and that land can be brought into agricultural production. Secondly, the average yields in Africa of most crops and most animals, the average yield meaning yield per hectare, number of litres per cow, amount of meat per animal per year, is significantly lower than what is achievable and what is achieved, say, in Europe. So the potential to increase the yields by a factor of up to 5 times is there. And this can be done by better use of technology, better use of genetics, better use of inputs, better management, etc., etc. And I think that there is a great potential here and a great role for agri-tech to play. There is the potential for an imperative actually to improve water use. I think there's going to be a big problem with water, and there's going to be a big sort of more and more competition for water between urban and rural areas. You may have heard a couple of years ago that Cape Town in South Africa was the first large municipality to run out of water. And it was reported that this problem was solved by the population of Cape Town reducing the water use in their houses. They certainly did that, and that certainly helped. What's not reported is that the biggest saving in water was carried out by water to the farmers in the Western Cape more or less being stopped. And that was what solved the water use problem, but you can imagine the issues they had to the agricultural production in the area. This is going to be a bigger issue going forward. Again, technology does offer a solution. There is a lot of ways of using water much more efficiently and more rationally. The next thing to mention is investment, and this is very important. It's important that we're looking to increase production, and that requires investment. I'll talk a bit in a minute about investment opportunities that we in UK government can assist you with. But you need to have a positive investment climate. I'm not lecturing here. It's a general term across many countries, but anything that can be done to improve the investment climate should be done. And some African countries now are doing things like concessional loans, like tax breaks, and making it much more attractive for people to want to invest in the sector. Agriculture is generally regarded as a good area to invest in. It's a sort of safe bet. It doesn't give you like massive returns, but it gives you safe, normally quite stable and quite predictable returns. So anything we can do to encourage investment, to make the investment climate as attractive as possible, should be done. Lastly, I'm talking about post-harvest and value chains. It's a very sad fact, as a general figure across the continent of Africa, that 45% of crops are lost after harvest. Just think about that for a minute. We grow it and we lose half it before it gets to our plate. And that's lost in the harvesting itself, in the transportation from the field to the store, and in the stores before it's transported to the retail distribution centres. A lot can be done here again with technology. That figure can be reduced from 45 to 6 or 7%. And the technology exists and is available to do that, and that's a prerogative and a priority in my opinion. Next slide, please. So investment. In this age of investment, some sectors where the UK offers a competitive advantage. And these are just indicative. These are not the only areas at all the UK offers, but these are some areas I believe where UK has significant expertise and opportunities which we'd be delighted to discuss with you. Excuse me 1 second. Thank you. The first of these is, as I mentioned, water use technology. We have a lot of experience in irrigation systems that provide water rationally and cheaply and use a lot less water. We also have a lot of experience in these water use decision tools. These are tools that you can use in a number of different systems, in livestock systems, in arable systems, to use the water in a much more efficient and resource-friendly manner. This is high technology. Often it's an app on a mobile phone. We have several companies that are leading the world in this, and we'll be delighted to introduce them to you. Agricultural machinery, I think this is well known. The UK makes some of the best agricultural machinery in the world. Tractors, combine harvesters, ploughs, etc., etc. Grain handling, all of these equipment we make and we sell good quality equipment with good guarantees, and we'll be happy to discuss with you how we can help you to use UK-based equipment or UK equipment from UK. Post-harvest technology I mentioned, this is an area UK does lead the world in. These are things like grain stores, grain dryers, grain handlers. is very important, and there's a number of UK companies who make these to a very, very high quality, and I say you can reduce post-harvest losses from 45% down to single figures. Livestock genetics, this is an interesting area. This is basically the way of increasing the yield, so increasing the yield per cow of milk, increasing the amount of meat you get from a certain input of food for pigs, for sheep, for beef animals. UK has a very high technology of livestock genetics, and a relatively cheap way of bringing livestock genetics in is through the male line. This is through semen or through embryos. We have a number of companies who work in this sector. We can bring in frozen semen, frozen embryos, and match them with local breeds. Gives you a big increase in yield. Something we also have a bit of a lead in the world in is sexed semen and sexed embryos. So you only need to breed females in the dairy sector, and you're not breeding males that you can't get milk from, obviously. Excuse me. Lastly, of these indicative sectors is the cool chain and cold chain technology. This is important. I know that Cote d'Ivoire is looking to expand its fruit and vegetables and fruit sales to UK and Europe. We have technology that can help in that. Also mention that we are sponsoring in Rwanda a complete cold chain demonstration unit that goes right through the system and demonstrates UK technology and UK expertise in this sector. So these are only indicative sectors. They're not the only sectors that we think we have something to offer, but these areas that where we think we do have a sort of competitive advantage. Be happy to discuss these with you in more detail. Next slide, please. This is the one that says UK-led investment opportunities. I want to talk briefly about 4 possible UK financing offers. The first one of these is UK Export Finance, UKEF. This is available if you are buying UK equipment. If you are buying a certain percentage of UK equipment, then UK Export Finance is potentially available to you. This is UK sovereign debt, so it's actually quite a nice interest rate. You don't have to, the whole project doesn't have to be UK based, as long as a certain percentage is. Excuse me, we'd be happy to discuss UK Export Finance being provided for your deal, as long as you have a certain content of British goods in your project. And this is something that we're pushing. There's a lot more money available for UK Export Finance. It's something that's really there to help you if you're thinking about buying a certain goods or product, to maybe help you push that towards the British. The deal room. This is an interesting new innovation. This is to help investment in the agriculture and agri-tech processing sectors. This is a capital matching platform we have set up with a private company in South Africa. So if you have an agricultural investment and you're in an existing business that's making a profit and is producing a set of accounts, then we have a matching platform that can match your project to a panel of UK investors. The minimum size of this is about $1 million. It goes up to about $50 million, and we're using this extensively in Africa at the moment. It's been quite successful. And if you are looking for an investment, looking for funding, and you have an investment opportunity, please do discuss it with us, and we could put it through the deal room, and we could well be able to help you. The Commonwealth Development Corporation is the UK's development bank. This is for larger ticket items. CDC are looking to increase the amount of money they lend to agriculture, to the agri-tech sector. So if it's a larger agri-processing, maybe a government scheme, we'd be delighted to talk to you. These tend to be quite long loans at quite good interest rates. We're there. The CDC are there to help, and they're looking to increase the amount of money they're lending to the agricultural sector. Agribusiness is a private company owned by UK government, or partially owned by UK government, where we're helping to lend to specific agricultural investments. and they are available for if you have a particular investment you're looking at. So if you are looking to borrow either equity or debt to expand your business in the agricultural, primary agricultural or processing sectors, we have a number of instruments there that we'd be happy to discuss with you. All these instruments have had more capital injected into them recently, and we are there to help, so please do contact us. Next slide, please. Conclusions. UK is open for business. Since Brexit, we've increased the number of staff for DIT Africa. We're trying to be nimble, and we're trying to show a sort of competitive advantage to other companies. And British people are trustworthy. Yeah, we are. So, if you want to look at British companies, there's a supplier portal showcasing UK companies. The website is there. That lists several hundred UK suppliers. You can search for livestock genetics, grain dryers, machinery handling, etc., etc. The agri-tech lead in Cote d'Ivoire is Stéphane. He's a very, very dynamic and capable gentleman, and if you want to talk to him about any particular project you've got or anything at all, please do contact him. Or if you want to, you can contact myself, and my email is there. Do use the number 2 in my email, please, because there's another David Burton who gets on my mail and gets quite cross about it. Next slide. Just quickly, an advert, please, for the Llama show. This is an agricultural machinery, equipment and technology show that occurs in Birmingham in the UK, 3rd and 4th of May this year. It's the largest show in Britain, quite possibly the largest show in Europe. It's well worth going to if you're looking at any kind of technology or in innovation or investment or anything like this. We do have some limited sponsorship available to assist you with going if you are a sort of legitimate potential buyer of UK goods. Contact Stéphane and myself if you're interested in doing that, and if you do, I hope to see you there. Next slide, please. This is the one that says thank you. So, thank you. Thank you for your time this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure to make this presentation. I hope I've made sense, given you something to think about. If you have any specific questions, I'll be happy to answer them afterwards. And obviously, Stéphane and myself will be happy to discuss any specific proposals with you. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.
David, that was great. Thank you. You can get in contact with David throughout the contacts I mentioned earlier and through our post-event reach out. Now, the Ivorian Agency for Investment, the CPC, are leaders in investment on the continent. Focus on delivery and customer-oriented. Here, they prepare an investment video straight after which we hear from our keynotes. So first, in this digital setting, a short digital offering from the CPC. Now, Mr. Bernard Comway, Director General of Planification, Statistic and Project for the Ministry of Agriculture and Development, will now tell you more about the opportunities in agriculture. Thank you.
Merci pour l'opportunité que vous nous donnez de faire un focus au cours de cette rencontre sur l'agriculture et l'agroindustrie en présentant les opportunités. Je me nomme Bernard Comway, je suis directeur général de la planification des statistiques et des projets au niveau du ministère de l'Agriculture et du Développement rural. Ma présentation va s'articuler autour de 3 points. Le premier point porte sur l'importance de l'agriculture dans l'économie nationale. Le deuxième point, la politique agricole à travers le programme national d'investissement agricole de la période 2018-2025 et vous présenter quelques opportunités de projets qui sont pour la plupart du temps exécutés ou qui doivent être exécutés dans une approche de partenariat public-privé. L'agriculture occupe une place importante dans l'économie nationale par son importance dans le PIB brut, dans le PIB à une hauteur estimée de l'ordre de 20 à 24%. C'est un secteur qui permet à la balance commerciale de la Côte d'Ivoire d'être positive, avec une contribution à hauteur de 70% des retraits d'exploitation à travers l'exploitation de fèves de cacao, de noix de cajou et bien d'autres spéculations non transformées, notamment la banane de cette. Il convient d'indiquer aussi que le secteur agricole emploie près de 2/3 de la population active et a été identifié comme le premier pourvoyeur et les études montrent qu'elle constituera d'être le premier pourvoyeur d'emploi pour les années à venir. L'agriculture est un secteur agricole très diversifié par les filières et occupe un positionnement mondial en termes de leader au niveau de la production, notamment les noix de cajou, les fèves de cacao et bien d'autres positionnements assez acceptables dans le monde. Le palmier à huile, l'EVA, la banane de cette, l'igname. Pour permettre de garder ce positionnement ou le niveau de performance de ce secteur, la Côte d'Ivoire a défini depuis 2018 une nouvelle politique dont la vision essentielle est axée sur la durabilité, la compétitivité, la création de richesses partagées. 3 objectifs stratégiques ont été identifiés. Le développement de la valeur ajoutée des produits. Quand vous regardez, nous avons assez produit et le positionnement est toujours au niveau de la production. Il est essentiel d'accroître la valeur ajoutée. Il est aussi essentiel de renforcer les systèmes de production qui soient respectueux de l'environnement. De nouveaux défis, notamment, se signalent la déforestation, le changement climatique. Il est clair qu'il faut adopter des systèmes qui soient respectueux de l'environnement. C'est aussi envisager une croissance inclusive pour assurer le bien-être des populations. Non seulement cela, mais développer le milieu rural. 6 programmes ont été identifiés et ces 6 programmes, le premier est axé sur la productivité et le développement durable. Le deuxième sur l'amélioration de la valeur ajoutée et de la performance des marchés, qui soit lié à accroître la qualité, qui soit lié à l'expansion des marchés, à développer des outils pour avoir accès à des marchés. C'est aussi la gestion durable des ressources naturelles en termes de protection de l'environnement, de développer des systèmes qui soient là à garantir, à préserver le milieu naturel et aussi à développer des systèmes pour permettre à cette agriculture d'être résiliente. Le 4e programme, c'est sur l'amélioration des conditions de vie des producteurs, des acteurs, C'est aussi l'assouplissement de ce secteur par la promotion du secteur agricole. Le cinquième programme est un programme transversal. L'accès au financement, qui est une problématique majeure, et aussi tout ce qui est identification des canaux d'investissement pour le secteur privé. Le dernier programme, c'est sur le renforcement institutionnel, la gouvernance du secteur, l'amélioration des affaires. Dans tout ce programme, la prise en compte de la dimension du genre et l'appui aux jeunes pour permettre de s'insérer dans le secteur agricole. La mise en œuvre de cette politique se fait à travers l'outil des agropoles. L'outil agropole est fondé essentiellement sur 5 axes clés en termes de stratégie de transformation qui soient localisées, qui tiennent compte des réalités du territoire. C'est aussi la définition des zones focalisées sur les filières prioritaires à haute valeur, à valeur économique, une concentration des facilités de services, des facilités, que ce soit en termes d'infrastructures économiques, de concentration des services qui permettraient de développer les filières. C'est aussi une implication du secteur privé. Comment juguler l'intégration du privé avec le financement public? Toute une approche cohérente qui soit liée avec le développement des pôles économiques à l'échelle nationale et même régionale. Cela a permis de subdiviser la Côte d'Ivoire en 9 agropoles aux zones de transformation et de croissance, axés pour l'essentiel sur le potentiel agroécologique à un certain niveau sur le découpage administratif. Le coût de ce programme avoisine 12 000 milliards, dont 65% du secteur privé, 35% du pouvoir public. L'essentiel du financement public doit servir à catalyser l'investissement privé en développant des grandes infrastructures hydro-agricoles, en facilitant la mise en place de bourses agricoles, en développant des hubs de transformation, en facilitant l'accès au financement, en développant des facilités pour améliorer les facteurs de production à travers la mécanisation. L'impact de ce programme d'un niveau économique, il s'agit d'un premier temps d'envisager une croissance de 7,5%, de hausser le niveau de productivité, d'augmenter le ratio exploitation valeur ajoutée de l'ordre de 120%. En termes, au niveau social, c'est en termes de réduction de la pauvreté de moins de 50%, faire sortir près de 6,5 millions de personnes de la pauvreté et de permettre à ce que plus de 2 millions de personnes puissent disposer d'une alimentation équilibrée. En termes d'amélioration des affaires, beaucoup de réformes ont déjà été envisagées, ont déjà été réalisées, mais il convient de prévoir bien d'autres. Les premières réalisations ont constitué pour l'essentiel sur la loi d'orientation agricole, qui a été évoquée à l'unanimité, sur les réformes des grandes filières, notamment les filières coton, anacarde, café, palmier à huile et VA. C'est aussi d'envisager véritablement le renforcement du cadre de concertation entre le secteur privé à travers le renforcement des structures spécialisées, le CPC, d'envisager un dispositif de réforme fiscale qui soit adapté aux besoins, d'effectuer des réformes de procédures douanières et aussi tout un ensemble d'organes de soutien au partenariat public-privé. Ainsi, pour le point culminant de notre exposé, sur le dernier point, sur les opportunités d'investissement, les grands projets que nous allons présenter ici sont définis dans un cadre de partenariat public-privé, dont le premier est axé sur le développement des agropoles, qui consistera à réaliser des infrastructures économiques de proximité dans les zones de forte production pour attirer le secteur privé, non seulement attirer le secteur privé, mais aussi de contribuer au développement économique et social du milieu rural. C'est aussi de faciliter l'accès aux services agricoles de proximité auprès des acteurs, dont les axes principaux sont notamment le développement des plateformes technologiques, la question de l'inclusion financière par la digitalisation, la question de la mise en place des systèmes de production de semences à haut rendement qui soient adaptés au changement climatique et l'accès à des services de mécanisation. C'est aussi tout ce qui est amélioration du système de conseil agricole et de recherche et développement. Il convient pour ce projet aussi de mettre en place des zones de transformation qui sont des espaces qui abritent à la fois l'administration, à la fois sous forme de guichets uniques, des espaces de formation, des espaces de promotion de l'innovation, des zones de transformation de produits agricoles, des unités de transformation de produits agricoles, des espaces de commercialisation et des espaces d'échange entre les acteurs. Le deuxième projet porte sur le développement de la filière mangue. En termes de rappel, la mangue se cultive dans la partie nord de la Côte d'Ivoire, dont un élément important, c'est la pète. Près de 60% de pète, due à une campagne de moins de 2 mois. Dès les premières pluies, la campagne s'arrête et tout le reste est soumis au rebut. Il convient d'améliorer la productivité de la mangue par le renouvellement du verger vieillissant, par le renforcement des capacités des acteurs, par aussi tout ce qui est lutte contre les mouches. Le deuxième axe de ce projet, c'est la mise en place d'une unité complète de conditionnement et de transformation qui devrait pouvoir absorber plus de 80 000 tonnes de mangue par an. Et là, les dispositions à prendre, c'est la mise en place d'unités de conditionnement qui aura pour 2 objectifs majeurs. Dans un premier temps, vu l'apparition des pluies qui peuvent entraîner l'apparition des mouches et qui entraînent l'apparition des mouches, qu'il est essentiel que les produits de meilleure qualité soient conditionnés pour l'export. Le deuxième objectif, c'est aussi de cibler le marché sous-régional et même national. L'orientation majeure, c'est de pouvoir préserver la qualité des produits qui soient issus des champs et pour ça, développer toute une logistique et de transport de camions à travers des camions réfrigérés. C'est aussi la mise en place d'unités de séchage pour tout ce qui est produit non exporté soit aussi développé à travers le séchage. Entreposé aussi qui devrait pouvoir servir à approvisionner les unités de transformation. Ce projet, c'est autour de la valorisation et de la transformation de qualité en Côte d'Ivoire, dans une approche de développement partenariat public-privé, produit essentiellement, activité essentiellement pratiquée par les femmes. Il est essentiel d'améliorer les conditions de production, les conditions de cueillette. Produits rentrant dans l'industrie pharmaceutique et dans la cosmétique. Les axes d'intervention sont dans un premier temps d'assurer une domestication du caritier, de aussi intégrer le caritier dans les systèmes de production afin d'avoir une approche d'agroforesterie qui permet de restaurer le couvert forestier. Le deuxième axe de ce programme, c'est la collecte et la transformation et le transport primaire depuis les lieux de production ou les lieux de ramassage vers les zones de transformation. C'est aussi la mise en place de le fonds de roulement afin d'assurer un approvisionnement continu en matières premières, d'assurer tout un triage des produits issus de la cueillette. Le troisième axe de l'intervention entendue, c'est la transformation et le conditionnement, et la commercialisation du beurre en améliorant dans un premier temps les outils de production, tout ce qui est technologie appropriée, valorisation des déchets, le conditionnement du produit final en le rendant plus attrayant et comment faciliter les échanges, disposer de ces produits vers les lieux de forte demande. Le programme de développement d'infrastructures de stockage et d'entreposage de grains, qui arrive avec le développement de la bourse des matières premières agricoles, qu'il est essentiel de mettre en place et qui doit pouvoir être mis en œuvre dans un cadre public. L'un des premiers axes, c'est la mise en place de dispositifs de contrôle qualité à travers le contrôle de la granulométrie, le contrôle sanitaire à l'entrée pour permettre d'éviter toute attaque parasitaire. C'est aussi la mise en place de silos d'infrastructures de stockage dimensionnés, repartis dans des centres que nous appelons des centres d'agrégation et qui permettent d'être plus proches des petits producteurs en dimensionnant à la taille des productions et avoir un dispositif central qui permet de grande taille autour de 5 000 à 10 000 tonnes et d'assurer un réseau de gestion de toutes ces infrastructures sur le territoire national. L'autre opportunité d'investissement est axée autour de la transformation du riz local, qu'il conviendrait d'assurer une production en quantité et en qualité. Le riz est identifié comme un produit phare pour assurer le besoin alimentaire d'une population urbaine et d'une population galopante. Pour ce faire, une stratégie nationale de développement durable de la filière riz a été adoptée et dont les objectifs sont axés sur la couverture du besoin national, de booster la transformation, d'envisager l'exportation. Donc pour ce programme, c'est véritablement de pouvoir contribuer à limiter les importations, à augmenter la production, améliorer les rendements. Et pour ce faire, 3 axes majeurs: le renforcement du système de production, en ce qui concerne l'accès à des semences aux intrants, l'encadrement, la structuration des acteurs. Le deuxième élément, c'est sur la question de faciliter à la mécanisation par la mise en place des centres de mécanisation. Le troisième, c'est le renforcement du système de transformation en augmentant le plateau technique, en aussi construisant des slots de stockage aussi bien à l'entrée qu'à la sortie des unités de transformation. Le coût estimé à près de 56 milliards de francs CFA. Le dernier programme que nous voulons vous présenter au cours de cette séance, c'est sur la transformation de la pomme de cajou. Pour rappel, la Côte d'Ivoire est le premier producteur de noix de cajou et cette noix nous envoie un niveau de transformation inférieur à 10%. Mais non seulement une transformation inférieure à 10%, mais la transformation de la pomme est nulle. La pomme périt dans le champ. Et donc, l'approche de ce projet consistera à assurer une valorisation de la pomme pour faciliter, sinon pour accroître le revenu des producteurs. Les principaux axes d'intervention sont sur la question de la logistique de collecte de pommes, à travers des équipements, la mise en place de fonds de roulement pour l'achat des pommes auprès des producteurs, mais le développement d'unités de transformation et de gestion des unités de transformation des pommes et aussi de gestion des résidus, que ce soit à travers la mise en place des unités de transformation délocalisées, de disposer des unités de pasteurisation, entrepôt de froid, et aussi des unités de conditionnement, notamment tout ce qui est packaging pour le produit final. Alors, nous avons des rebuts qui devront nous faire des rebuts, l'essentiel pour la production d'aliments de bétail, devront servir aussi comme source d'énergie, devraient aussi servir pour la production de compost. Voici pour l'essentiel ce que nous allons bien vouloir vous présenter ce soir, cette journée. Merci.
Thank you, Mr. Komoe, for presenting the huge investment opportunities in agribusiness that Cote d'Ivoire has to offer. Now it's my pleasure to introduce you to Mr. Eric Ouattara, Technical Advisor for the Ministry of Trade and Industry.
Good morning, everyone. First, I want to thank Mrs. Catherine Broker, UK Ambassador in Ivory Coast, for inviting us to participate in this event, to allow the government of Ivory Coast, especially the Ministry of Industry and Trade, to present the investment opportunity in agro-industry in Cote d'Ivoire. Firstly, Ivory Coast is really interested to see a structural transformation of its economy. And through the PND 2021-2025, the government has decided its main focus is industry and structurally change the economy of Ivory Coast through industry. And it's a very ambitious program, national development plan. We are looking for, in franc CFA, 59,000 billions. So it's a very ambitious program, and we want to go deep and to transform our economy through industry. We want to make sure the industry, which initially at 5 years after our independence was representing less than 10% and now represent more than 20. We are talking about 25 to 27% of the GDP is through industry, and we want to go further and to make sure we are transforming our economy through the industrialization of our country. So this is really what we are trying to do, and we have decided to look after 7 clusters, and one of the main clusters is agro-industry. And for us, this is really the topic we are talking about today. Industry represents 27% of the GDP of Ivory Coast, with more than 6,000 companies, 48% of employment opportunity in this country, 57% of the exportation, and more than 800,000 employees working in the industrial sector. The average growth of the industry in Ivory Coast for the last 5 years is 8%. And our industry company are representing 57%. Those who are transforming 57% of the industrial company in this country, and agro-industry represent averagely 73% of the industrial area in our country. And Ivory Coast is really based on agro-industry. And this is something significant we have to look at it. When we consider the current situation, mainly is palm oil transformation. I think in terms of palm oil, we have seeing first transformation and second transformation. Our objective is to go further. In cocoa, it's the same things. We are going first transformation only 24%. There is no second and third transformation. This is what we are trying to go. For first transformation, our objective is to go in the next 5 years to 50%. Cotton. Ivory Coast was previously a significant industry in the cotton sector. Currently, this sector has a lot of challenge, but the government is trying to restructure this sector and to make sure, I think, we will revive our industry, our cotton industry in Ivory Coast. Groundnuts. I think it's something we are the first producer worldwide. We are producing the groundnuts, and currently we are doing only the first transformation, and averagely we are transforming only 10% of the groundnuts we are able to grow in Ivory Coast. Our objective in the next 5 years to go to 50%. In terms of fruits, especially mango, we are producing less than 5%. We want to go also to 50%. And in terms of, briefly, this is some of the products we are looking. We are doing currently a lot of reforms, and for us the most important is to have an incitation measure to be able to attract more investment in Ivory Coast. We are trying to look at the overall environment, overall business environment, and try to make sure we are going for something more simple, more easy, and more attractive through the Tribunal de Commerce d'Abidjan. This is the kind of things we are looking. We are trying also to reinforce the legal, regulatory, and institutional environment, and we are trying to go for more quality out of products, which are products produced in Ivory Coast. So for us, this is some of the things we are looking for. We are working currently to improve the two public entities dealing with industry in Ivory Coast. Currently, we have AGD, which is the agency in charge of managing the industrial area, and we have FODI. FODI is a financial fund trying to help AGD to develop the industrial area in our country. Both entities will be merged in the next months or year. It's a willingness of the government of Ivory Coast to merge those two entities to make sure they become more efficient and they help the industrialization program to move forward. So currently we are developing PK24, which is the widest industrial area, which is at the exit of Abidjan, going to the north of the country. So it's an area of 940 acres, and we are trying to develop it and to make sure it's a modernized industrial area. But we are developing also industrial area within the country in Boaké, San Pedro, Korogo, Yamsoko, Bonoa, Anzope, Apaso. Averagely, we have an industrial area of around 100 acres in each of these towns, but we are going for deep. One of the major things we are looking for is the opportunity in groundnuts. I think in terms of groundnuts, we have a lot of opportunities, and Ivory Coast is producing averagely now around 900,000 tons each year, and the transformation percentage is, we consider, very low. We are around 12%. We want to go to 50% before end of 2025. And currently we have capacity installed around 250,000 in 2021, and we expect to go to 500,000 tons at end of 2025. What are the main measures we are putting in place to make sure I think we achieve it? We have a guarantee scheme to allow the industry to mobilize financing with local banks and financial institutions to acquire the product, to allow them to produce all around the year. We are giving subvention around 400,000 per kilogram and 150 francs CFA per kilogram for it depends on which stage you are. So we are also able to sign convention with the state to allow your industrial unit to be able to benefit of various measures to improve, I think, and to help you invest. So we are also trying to have dedicated area within the industrial area, which are for those who are going for agro-industry, especially in terms of cashew. So for us, it's something very important. And we have also developed a center of innovation and technology of groundnuts in Yamoussoukro, which is very interesting. The CITA is there, and I think we are looking to develop this CITA to make top level center of innovation. We are also helping, I think, women today to do the small transformation. We help individual women or women who are organized through cooperative to make sure they are able to do the first transformation. And because we consider, in terms of groundnuts, the lady who are working on this to be really the main reason for success of the groundnut in Ivory Coast. We are also what Ivory Coast is known for, cocoa. So we are trying also to develop, I think, the local transformation of cocoa, our cocoa product. Currently we are producing 2 million of tons for the last campaign and around 40% of the global offer in terms of cocoa. And we are around less than 20% in terms of transformation, around 500,000. We want to go deep and to be able to achieve half of our production, national production of cocoa to be transformed locally, around 1 million tons. And we have currently capacity installed with various units in terms of cocoa. We can go up to 810,000. So we consider we want to go to 1 million tons. So we are not far, but at least we need to improve them and we need to make sure those who have capacity are able to get the product and are able to do the transformation. This is also another challenge. Some are not able to get enough product, are not efficient enough to be able, I think, to use full capacity of their unit. So this is some of the things we are looking for. Improve the quality of our product, our industrial product, and improve also the efficiency through our industry installed in Ivory Coast. We have also a lot of incitation, and I think for the butter, for the powder, and for all the product in terms of cocoa. And I said, inciting you to go and check with us, and we'll be able to give you more details. We are also one of the main programs we are trying to do to revive our cotton industry, because Ivory Coast was able to produce and to transform our cotton. We lost, I think, our industry, and we are trying to revive it. Currently, we are producing, last year, 2020, we produced around 550,000 tons of cotton. Now we want to go to 700,000, and we want to be able to transform averagely 80 to 85% of these things with 15 units of transformation. But currently we have only 5 which are working, and we have only 3 units who are doing trituration. So we are working to make sure, I think, all the products produced in Ivory Coast are able to be sold in our country and to be exported also. We are going against those who are doing frauds against the quality of the product we are bringing, importing fake product and low quality. We are fighting against it to make sure, I think, the local transformer of cotton are able to sell the product and to sell properly and accordingly what they are producing. We have also, in terms of rubber, we have also the local industry which are able to transform 950,000 tons of rubber in 2020. Our objective is to go to 1 million tons. But one of the main things, we are doing only the first transformation. We want to go to the second transformation. Currently, we are transforming less than 2%. So this second transformation for us is key. And this is something we are looking at it. We have also a huge opportunity in terms of fruits and vegetables. We have 7 African producers of mangoes with around 180,000 tons. With pineapples, we are producing 33,000. We have the transformation level is less than 5% for pineapples and less than 2% for mangoes. So we consider we want to go to 50%. There is a lot of opportunities. The fruit are there. We are losing a lot of them because we are not transforming them. So there are huge opportunities. This is briefly what we can say. The perspectives are really, really interesting because of political stability, because of the real mission for us to develop our industry, and because of the vision and strategy we have through the last National Development Plan 2021-2025. This is for us a major program. We are looking with the support of UNIDI to cooperate with various countries to be able to achieve what we are looking for. And UK investors are welcome in Ivory Coast to help us achieve what we're trying to do. Thank you very much. Before concluding, what I can say, we have a list of projects I think you can look and you can be interested to be involved in. We are making some structural reforms, and we have also dedicated projects in terms of industry, especially agro-industry in Ivory Coast. So we have a list of those projects. We share the contact details of the ministry and the contact details to make sure we can talk to us, or you can talk to the UK embassy in Ivory Coast, and they'll be able to communicate with us and give us your interest and where we can discuss and see what is possible to do. I really want to thank you for taking time to listen to us and to see how you can be interested in investing in Ivory Coast to make sure the agricultural sector become more modernized, more industrialized, and it's something very interesting and it's a very ambitious program. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day and let's keep in touch. I'm waiting for your contact. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ouattara, for this great presentation. Thank you to the government. There are so many opportunities here: cashew nut, cotton, rubber, cocoa, fruit and vegetables, including mango and pineapple, with a particular reference to their packaging and processing, effectively the value addition that you can help bring to Côte d'Ivoire. Now to some incredibly interesting private sector and some quasi-governmental agencies. In order to be more efficient in time and to make this a more friendly experience, we are going to run all 4 videos concurrently. Before doing that, here are the address again for you to make contact with the presenters and the audience. It's event@developingmarket.com and it's carol.atumbre@fcdo.gov.uk. Now, please allow me to introduce ICAD Holdings, CETA, Ecostim, and Ashdeco, all of whom will present on the expertise and skills in the agribusiness area in Côte d'Ivoire. Over to you, and I hope you enjoy.
Je suis Alima Tawatara, directrice générale de l'entreprise UK-Cote Holding. Je totalise 10 années dans la filière de noix de cajou et depuis 2019, nous sommes à la tête de l'entreprise UK-Cote Holding, qui est une SARL du droit ivoirien dont le siège est à Bonoukou et nous avons par ailleurs une représentation à Abidjan. Nous travaillons essentiellement avec des coopératives de femmes qui nous permettent de pouvoir avoir facilement les noix depuis la brousse et par ailleurs, nous voulons les aider à pouvoir promouvoir une activité de sorte à pouvoir être autonomes. UK-Cote Holding a pour ambition de se doter d'une unité de transformation de traitement de 1000 tonnes par mois, soit environ plus de 10 000 tonnes l'année. Cette unité permettra de satisfaire nos clients qui sont très exigeants au niveau de la qualité. Ça nous permettra de pouvoir avoir des produits en termes de quantité. Cette situation aussi nous permettra de pouvoir avoir une certaine expertise dans le domaine de la transformation. Ensuite, cette unité nous permettra d'améliorer nos marges, étant donné que nous sommes dans la sous-traitance avec certaines unités de transformation. Et cela nous permettra de pouvoir avoir assez de gains. Et enfin, cette unité de transformation permettra l'autonomisation des femmes à travers l'opportunité d'emploi qu'elle offrira. Nous avons deux types de besoins, un besoin en investissement, un besoin en exploitation. Concernant le besoin d'investissement, nous avons besoin de 4 millions de dollars pour pouvoir réaliser l'implantation de l'unité de transformation dans la région de Bondoukou. En termes d'exploitation, nous avons besoin d'1 million de dollars afin de pouvoir nous permettre de pouvoir travailler cette année 2022 concernant la nouvelle saison de noix de cajou. UK-Cote Holding est une jeune entreprise qui a du potentiel. L'équipe dirigeante a décidé de se doter de sa propre unité de transformation afin de pouvoir améliorer sa rentabilité. Nous demandons donc à tous les investisseurs qui nous regardent en ce moment de bien vouloir nous accompagner dans la réalisation de ce projet. Cette unité nous permettra de pouvoir bâtir un partenariat gagnant-gagnant.
Je suis Madame Sarata Touré-Komi, directrice générale adjointe de la société CITA SA, qui est la société ivoirienne de traitement d'anagramme. Depuis 2000, nous œuvrons pour le développement de la Côte d'Ivoire. Nous sommes situés plus précisément au nord-ouest du pays, là où pousse la noix de cajou, qui est notre activité principale. De la plantation à l'usine, de l'usine à l'exportation, nous œuvrons pour pouvoir promouvoir les noix de cajou ivoiriennes. Nous le faisons depuis plus de 30 ans aujourd'hui. Cette expérience ne s'achète pas. C'est pour cela que nous sommes leaders dans ce secteur. Le groupe emploie aujourd'hui plus de 800 personnes sur toute la chaîne de valeur. dont près de 80% de femmes. Les femmes travaillent dans nos plantations. Ensuite, les femmes travaillent dans nos usines. Il est important de noter que l'usine d'anacarde génère beaucoup plus de revenus. Lorsqu'on parle de chiffre d'affaires, on parle de plus de 2 milliards de chiffre d'affaires par année. Et c'est assez important parce que lorsqu'on étudie le volume que nous avons pu faire pendant ces dernières années, qui n'a cessé de croître malgré les crises que nous avons eu à surmonter, que ce soit la crise du Covid ou bien les autres crises qui ont eu à toucher notre pays. Cela explique un peu la résilience et le management que nous faisons et l'expérience aussi que nous avons au niveau de la noix de cajou. Pour l'exercice 2022, le projet se situe sur 2 axes, l'investissement et le fonds de roulement. Il est important de noter que l'activité de noix de cajou se finance de plusieurs manières, mais il ne faut pas oublier que le financement de l'investissement et du fonds de roulement sont clés. Si on fait un et qu'on ne fait pas l'autre, ça risque de causer un problème très important dans le bon fonctionnement de l'entreprise. Et donc, c'est pour cela que mon projet aujourd'hui, je sollicite 2,2 milliards de fonds de roulement et 700 millions d'investissements. Déjà en 2022, si nous réussissons à obtenir ce financement, on projette déjà près de 7 milliards de chiffre d'affaires, avec une croissance continue sur 10 milliards et 15 milliards dans les années à venir. Il ne suffit pas d'avoir effectivement un chiffre d'affaires important. On parle de l'impact environnemental et rural que cet investissement aura au niveau de l'usine. L'investissement va se faire sur la construction d'entrepôts. L'investissement dans les grillés salés, qui est aujourd'hui un produit bien consommé, non seulement en local et aussi à l'international. Donc c'est un investissement important à faire aussi. Mais il reste aussi beaucoup à faire au niveau du fonds de roulement. Le fonds de roulement qui est très important. Parce que si on n'achète pas suffisamment de noix, on ne peut pas essayer de pouvoir prétendre avoir un chiffre d'affaires aussi important. Aujourd'hui, la CITA a besoin de 2,2 milliards en fonds de roulement et 700 millions en investissement pour pouvoir donner du travail à plus de femmes, pour pouvoir impacter la région de Djéné, pour pouvoir faire d'elle un leader au niveau local, un leader dans tous les sens du terme. Aujourd'hui, donner un financement à CITA, c'est financer près de 1000 femmes. C'est financer une plantation de près de 300 hectares. C'est financer la filière cajou. C'est pouvoir marquer une marque de valeur au niveau de la Côte d'Ivoire.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me to present our company this morning. We are EcoStim and we manufacture a range of natural biostimulants. The range consists of 5 products, 4 of which are available in 2 different formats, being liquid and granular. The first one we'll talk about this morning is Eco Cereal. This is one of our most popular products. A couple of the greatest things about it are, as well as the basic increase in crop yield, which I'll come to a little bit later, it will also increase the nutritional content, and also if it's being used on any seed crops, the likes of sunflower, for instance, it will also increase the oil content of the seeds. So for the same footprint that you're growing currently, you'll have another increase in yield and also an increase in either nutritional content of the cereal, or if it's an oil seed, an increase of the oil content in that seed as well. EcoFruit is probably our star pupil, and the main reason behind that is because of the increases in yield we're able to achieve, a significant increase in the overall shelf life, an improvement on the flavour, and just the amount of return provided to the growers. So recently EcoFruit provided fantastic returns that I'm going to mention shortly to a grower in Zimbabwe, and those financial returns were astounding. On average, across the range on EcoFruit, we get another 4 days increase in shelf life, which we think is phenomenal. EcoVeg, again, the increase in crop yield is the core function of all our products. For EcoVeg and across the full range, the better resistance to biotic and abiotic attack is incredibly important. So that resistance to drought, to lack of nutrient, to getting attacked by various insects, a lot more able to withstand and recover from. Obviously producing larger vegetables as well as that increase in crop, and again across the line the reduction of fertilizers. You can reduce your chemical fertilizer use, or sorry, any fertilizer use, by up to 40%, and with the recent vast increases in fertilizer costs, that has to make great sense. We have two other products within the range, EcoFlower and EcoTurf. They are available to sell into the continent, but it's something that we generally don't cover in presentations. Yield being incredibly important across the range, we'll have a look at some of the key players here. Rice, that increase of 30% was on a lowland rice in Sri Lanka. The 27% increase on tomato in Zimbabwe. Now that was open field tomato that was irrigated, but that 27% was worth around $7,400 US, which is quite phenomenal. The increase in tea in Sri Lanka, again, not just the increase in overall yield. Whenever the tea leaves were taken to market, they were graded a higher grade, so the grower got that 31% increase in yield, and then a bonus on top of it being a better quality leaf. The increase in yield in rice in Nigeria, that was northern Nigeria, and in that case that was an upland rice. Strength is incredibly important. One of the key factors is the plant being able to fight against all those negative things that come at it, because it has better metabolized all the nutrients that are given to it and makes the plant stronger and better able to fight against anything, whether it be a fungus, whether it be insect attack, or whether it just be too much sun or not enough water coming. The fact that the plant is better able to metabolize and utilize all those positive nutrients that are given to it makes it better. Very important on the environmental side is the product is completely biodegradable. It's not retained within the plant or within the soil. The only evidence that you'll have used our biostimulant will be your increases in crop yield and crop quality, and the increase in the soil bioactivity. Also, you can reduce the need for fertilizers and fungicides, and that has to be a good thing from an environmental perspective. There are so many different benefits to utilising the EcoStim range of biostimulants. You've got your increase in yield, you've got the increase in your soil quality, you've got improved crops, you've got a better flavoured crops, you've got a 4-day average increase in shelf life, you can reduce your fertiliser and fungicide usage by up to 40%, but most of all, you get a positive return on investment. It's all about making sure that this is sensible from an economic perspective for the growers, and we think that's incredibly important. From an R&D perspective, we've been testing over the last 4 years. We've tested in soils ranging from Zimbabwe to South America via Sri Lanka and even the UK. All soil types are suitable. It even works hydroponically. EcoStim Limited, we're a UK-based company. We manufacture to ISO 9001, 14001, 44001, and we have a capacity to produce 100 tonnes per day. We're happy to say we're an HMRC approved exporter too. We're interested in distributors that have at least 3 years trading history and the ability to distribute throughout the country. If you would like to have a chat with us, you can reach us through the website ecostim.org. You can email us directly on info@ecostim.org, or you can phone our UK office on the number shown on screen. Thanks a lot for the opportunity to speak with you today. Happy growing.
The African continent has ample fertile land and water resources, but African countries are importing over $35 billion of food products a year. Many local agribusinesses lack access to patient capital and technical expertise, which holds back their growth. This is where Agdevco has a role to play. Backed by the UK government, Agdevco is an impact investor with over a decade of experience making direct investments, both debt and equity, in African agriculture, with an investment portfolio which has reached $150 million in 50 farming and agri-processing companies across 10 African countries. Agdevco is one of the most active investors in the sector today. Some of Agdevco's projects are already catalyzing the growth of profitable local industries, which creates further opportunities for trade and investment, including for British companies. Agdevco has created and sustained over 11,500 local jobs and linked over 572,000 smallholders to markets. In Malawi, Agdevco invested in Jacoma to develop the country's first fully irrigated macadamia farm and nursery. Jacoma also buys and processes macadamia, paprika, and chilies from outgrowers.
Agdevco has provided enormous support over the years. It's helped the business to grow significantly, and they've also helped us through technical assistance in building our capacity for reporting and accountability in our financial systems. And I think going forward, they're going to continue to be a great partner for us.
Agdevco's funding has helped the company to link over 3,000 smallholders to markets and to create and sustain over 900 full-time jobs. In Mozambique, Agdevco provided both debt and equity to ECA to establish a state-of-the-art maize mill and an outgrower program that links 8,000 smallholder maize farmers to a guaranteed market. In Zambia, Agdevco's debt and equity investment in Saisi Farming Enterprises and Katito Farms is developing an agricultural hub in the country's underdeveloped northern province. Saisi and Katito are the first commercial seed potato producers in Zambia, supplying local processor Buyabamba. Saisi and Katito have the potential to transform a whole value chain. The availability of improved seed varieties is already crowding in other private investment in the local potato industry. In Rwanda, Agdevco invested in Minimex, a milling company producing fortified maize flour. Agdevco's investment will allow the Rwandan-owned business to increase its capacity and ramp up purchases from tens of thousands of maize farmers across the country.
Agdevco is much more than a financial investor. It is a true partner who shares our passion and commitment to agribusiness in Africa. We were very happy that Agdevco came along the journey with us and is sharing its expertise, technical, financial, operational with us to contribute to the growth of our company.
Agdevco's investments range in size from $2 million to $10 million, addressing a gap in the market where private capital is in short supply. As a long-term partner, often taking an active role on company boards, Agdevco provides support on strategy, agronomy, supply chain management, and ESG. Agdevco's investments are carefully selected to benefit both people and planet. They contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals by tackling hunger and poverty, increasing economic growth, and improving gender equality and environmental outcomes. Looking ahead to the next decade, Agdevco plans to double the size of its investment portfolio, helping to build pioneering companies that provide lasting benefits for local communities and contribute to the positive transformation of the African agriculture sector.
Thank you. That was excellent. All four were excellent. Now to me to thank our distinguished presenters and panelists. I would like to invite you to ask questions and request meetings once again at event@developingmarkets.com, and it's also at carol.atombre@fcdo.gov.uk. I would like to remind you about next month's major investment summit for Côte d'Ivoire, for which please contact Stefan at stefan.ionzo@fco.gov.uk. I will also take the opportunity to remind you that you can see this video at your leisure next week, and you will receive instructions on how to do that next week. It's been my great pleasure to be your host today. Please contact me at k.dombia@ciccgb.uk for any questions about the member. And my warmest thanks to all the participants. Thank you.